Just got the email confirming I got the job. After months submitting applications, I finally landed a position as an associate banker at Chase. I've only ever worked as a bartender, and COVID hit my industry pretty hard. Does anyone have any experience in the position who can maybe offer some advice? I started as an we were call tellers back then 5 years ago. I was promoted after 9 months in the position to a banker role and have been promoted again since then. I'm sharing this to reinforce that Chase likes to promote from within. Kick ass, and you can genuinely make a career of this if it is something you want to pursue. Bartender to banker. I'm interested in knowing how you managed that one. There's definitely transferable skills here, things like strong communication skills with customers, handling cash possibly. That's exactly it. Branch positions seem to be heavily focused on the customer experience. I highlighted that and cash handling on my resume, and I feel like that helped. Coming from one of the busiest bars in my city, I have experience building relationships as well as handling some of the most difficult and intoxicated customers imaginable. I feel like that helped a lot. How was the interview process? By date 126, one day, a guy had applied a couple months back and they turned me down initially. Around the start of the year, they emailed me saying I should apply again. After that, I got an email to set up a phone interview. Then I had my in-person yesterday. Today I got the email saying I cleared my interview. I still have to go through background check, drug test, and all that, but I'm not worried about that. The interview was formal, but not in the way I've been told to expect from interviews. It was very conversational all the way through, and there were just a few questions about my customer service experience as a bartender. 50 form reply, share, report, save. Hell ye, congrats. My advice is show up and give a shit. First of all, congrats on the new job. I was an at Chase for just under a year, from December of 2019 to November 2020, and I have a lot to say about that time. As far as the job goes, despite being called an associate banker, you were a teller for all intents and purposes. My branch manager told me that Chase replaced all the teller positions and made everyone apps to help bridge the gap between being a personal banker and a teller. If you ask me, it just seemed like a way to tack on more responsibilities to tellers and give them a fancier title, but they did raise the pay for them as well, so there's that at least. Chase is big on promoting from within if you were willing to put in the time. From all the people I worked with and talked to, you can make this the start of a long career in banking and learn the industry as you go. My experience has been, but the reality is you are not going to be opening up accounts for clients or doing wire transfers or anything like that. You will be behind the teller line. When you start out, you will have about 2 to 3 weeks of computer training mixed in with some hands-on training and shadowing of other more experienced devs. After that, and when your branch or assistant branch manager thinks you are ready, they'll assign you a cash box, and that's when your job really starts. You will be processing all kinds of transactions on the teller line: deposits, withdrawals, payments for loans and credit cards, and plenty others. Cash handling is going to make up the majority of your day, and there's going to be a learning curve when it comes to how you will handle money, even if you do have some experience. And depending on your area, this can easily be tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. Banking is a highly regulated industry with lots of procedures, and you will quickly discover those as you are on the job. There is a lot to learn, especially for preventing fraud. My advice for the beginning is to just take your time and try your best not to be nervous. You'll feel kind of clumsy at first, or at least I did, especially when you see how fast some of your colleagues do transactions. But the speed comes with confidence and knowing exactly what you were doing. It gets very repetitive, so you will become better at it very quickly. But with that being said, I strongly encourage you to build good habits early on and not copy what you see some of your coworkers do. Like you mentioned, customer service is huge. Besides accurately performing transactions, customer service is the most important thing. Branches have scorecards and are judged by anonymous surveys sent out to customers, in addition to a number of other things. And more importantly, you're judged by your survey scores too. Although they are anonymous for the customer's protection, your manager gets the breakdown of what scores you get and any comments they left about you. Hopefully they share this with your team so you know if there's anything you can improve. My advice here is just be as helpful as you can. Make a conversation which doesn't sound like it will be too hard for you. Say their name at least 3 times during any transaction, and don't make any promises to the customer. Always undersell and overdeliver when you can. Hope that helps, and good luck. What a great way to start off the new year. Congratulations. Congrats, I made the move from bartending after 10 years to office work 2 years ago next week and have no regrets. It is so nice to know you have guaranteed money coming your way each check. Read about the GOBA. It is a big deal in the banking industry and good knowledge to have. Congrats, take notes, listen more than you talk, and dress well. Congrats, pal. By date 126, 1 day ago. Thank you for 1 reply, share, report, save. Congrats on switching industries successfully. That's always a tough thing to accomplish. Congratulations, bartender to bank teller, bartender to you. Representative. Let people keep hating on the people that put others' minds at ease after a long day. You can do anything and achieve anything that you want in life. Some people have channels on YouTube talking about their careers as a bank teller. You should check them out. Congratulations. I am so happy for you and I hope everything goes amazingly at your new job. I worked in banking from 2008-2016 during college and grad school, basically a large part of my 20s. You can make a career out of working at Chase. I worked at US Bank, but everyone I know that worked at Chase has moved up tremendously and gotten great pay raises. Chase is a great company. Banking has changed a lot from when I worked there many moons ago when I started in 2008. Online banking and mobile banking were a thing, but they were not what they are now. Now everything is highly digitalized and, like you said, there's a big stress on service. Chase provides a lot of learning opportunities, so if they have learning as a benefit, definitely take that opportunity. Who knows, you can maybe eventually do something else within the organization. Congratulations. If you are looking to stay in finance, look into professional certifications and designations to take your career to the next level. Congrats. Just out of curiosity, do you have a degree or need a degree for this position? The skills anyone has as a bartender, waiter, absolutely translate over into this kind of work. You may want to look at some videos on YouTube about personal finance, about stocks, that sort of thing. You don't have to learn everything at once. You already know how to stand on your feet for hours, and how to be polite to everyone, and extra polite to bad people. That's some hard skills that truly I don't have. I'll turn red and you can see I'm furious. I'm an insurance adjuster who is now working in the finance sector of a large insurance company. It is pretty interesting, and I'm learning something new all the time. Good luck to you in your change of trade. Sundaburist 16 hours ago. Exactly what had I was thinking. 42 reply, share, report, save. Don't know anything about this field. Just coming to say congratulations. Good stuff. As a bartender, you probably already have the people skills to deliver excellent customer service. I don't know what kind of an associate banker you will be, but the key is to have prospects and existing account holders deposit money into your institution checking, savings, investments, insurance, or by buying credit card loans, mortgages, personal loans, lines of credit, credit cards. Of course, you need to listen to their needs first, but upselling is key. Read balance sheets of financial institutions and see how they work to give you a wide context of your role. Why I left my last employer and an example of a horrible manager. I worked for a bank for 8 years. On the retail side, the last 2 of that. My regional manager was always someone I didn't care for. Only sent emails when something was wrong. Never really was open to any questions from us. And in general crushed us with really mundane issues. Also during COVID, heavily pushing sales numbers and trying to get us to proactively invite people to the branch. An example, though, really highlighted the issue and ultimately led to me leaving. We had a client come in 10 minutes to close wanting to set up a new student checking account. These were a pain, took an hour. And despite the bank telling us how important they are, we got paid like $3 in our incentive plan for them. I advised we would need to schedule an appointment for a later date. Next morning, I get a call from the manager saying we needed to help that customer then and there. Turns out the mother knew my manager's manager and complained about it, and you know where it went from there. Here is the kicker, though. About a month before this, we had someone come in 15 minutes to close that had massive fraud and needed about 8 new accounts. We all stayed till 1:5 after closing time to help this customer. We got yelled at by the same manager for staying too late and having opt, so that was enough. Between that, and thinking COVID was business as usual, I left for a much better paying job. Thanks for sharing this story. I went through a similar nightmare, not as bad as yours, but definitely had an impact on my mental health. I realized it is just not worth my mental health. I found a higher paying job and can't wait to get started. Things like this happen, but it is all a learning experience. I never experienced the stress that leads to workplace violence until I had a manager like the one you experienced. Outside of standing family history of mental health issues that have convinced me to never ever own a gun, thinking of ways people could die is scary AF. I'm surprised every day that the place I used to work at does not have a storm of police around it due to employee threats. It is workplaces like that where I wish mental health of employees was an OSHA violation. Although I do not condone violence, some people in the workplace truly and utterly forget that we are all human, and at any moment someone can reach out across the table and smack the living shit out of you, or worse. Mental health is super important, and as a manager I never want to disrespect my employees or have a huge negative impact on their mental health. Stress is an unavoidable byproduct to some workplaces, but it should not come with all of the other toxic shit. Narcissists are everywhere. They are absolutely unpleasable. Only at Litty Harmony 11 hours ago. I wonder why there are so many 4-3 reply share report save continue this thread. You have to box those managers into their double standards. After they complain about staying to help open an account after close, you say something like, "Oh, about a month ago you told us not to stay after hours due to what? Can I get it in writing that you'd like us to stay? I just want to remember next time." They'll never give it to you in writing because they were aware they change their answers to how it suits them. So when you refuse the next new account creation after hours, you say you forgot and ask for it in writing again. Round and round you go until you find a new job, but always be sure to mirror managers' bullshit back at them. I was a teller in 2019, and it was the worst job of my life. The managers expect too much from you. I'm talking weekly performance meetings and constant criticism. I left after 2 months. Is ridiculous. I've even worked fast food, and I am convinced the worst of the worst is retail banking. Absolutely agree. I was a teller as well. I was and am convinced tellers are paid some of the worst wages, but are the face of the bank credit union. Pay them poorly, but expect them to make sales for upper management bonuses and salary, and make the whole institution look great. Bananas, man, bananas. My point is, tellers are the ones who make the organization what it is, at least facing the public. I simply believe they should be paid substantially better for everything they are expected to do and for all they deal with. One thing to do when you resettled at your new job is let the regional manager's manager know why you left. If they don't get feedback, then nothing changes. I've done this in the past and it has helped things for my former colleagues. I used to work at a bank. I hate having to push accounts and credit cards on customers, most of whom were making deposits on business accounts and didn't want to be hassled while doing their jobs. Or they'd say push credit cards on college students. I just didn't do it. Last about 8 months before I quit. I worked in retail banking during the last stretch of my college days. The job itself was okay, but the way management would measure your performance was completely illogical and backwards. Your performance completely depended on customer survey scores, and it was miserable because you can't make every customer happy even though you did your job correctly. I left after I graduated, and so did my branch manager and direct manager. Retail banking is definitely on its way out, and management is trying to squeeze what they can from customers along the way. That's corporate life for you, my friend. Managers only care about themselves and only fear the higher-ups. They always think you are a machine who should work for free all the time without complaining.
Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.